Wow, it's been a while since I've booted Cyclist Tactics up. I mean, what happened is pretty simple. Let's Make a Soccer Team popped off, so I felt obliged to continue posting that while I had momentum. And that momentum led me to reaching 400 subscribers, which I thank everyone for, though it's probably going to come back down to $3.99 the moment I upload this, because ew, not Elmast, unsubbed. But if you haven't already clicked off, I would encourage my new subscribers to give this a chance, because it is a sneaky good game, even if it's maybe not the best game for contents because of its abstract nature. We're here at the Vista Hetvesia, and Herman Watson, there is one goal. He wins this tour or it's a failure. Here we have a potential trap where the obvious move is to go here, but actually if you count these off, 3, 6, 9, which means this is a 2-node advantage, and even though it costs a lot more energy and attack, which would be devastating later in the tour, right now we know we're going to reach maximum, but the net outcome of that jump is that we're going to take second in the stage, and thanks to the attack point refund, we should recover the full energy and attack for the next stage regardless. And there's no warming up period in the Vista Hetvesia. We already have our first chance to assert dominance in the tour right now. Looks like we don't even have to do the pacing here. The rest of the field wants to put the yellow jersey in trouble right away. The winner of the first stage does not have mountain specialization. I'm not expecting him to be a threat come the end. And whilst the yellow jersey group did catch back up to the peloton eventually, it's cost them a lot of energy, so I suspect they're going to get dropped even with the slipstream on offer on this next climb. We are effectively leading the race, and we've got to be ready to defend. That is, unless I choose to attack instead, which the door is open, but we've got to go to the 8 anyway, and there's still a couple of downhill turns to navigate afterwards. I would ideally like to have slipstream for at least some of them. Well, now my hand is forced because none of them managed to make it to the 8. And this is just too good of a move to pass up. That decision for me is a bit of a surprise, as Herman Weiss definitely had the power to reach that 8. And though it's not the most efficient way to get to the finish from here, there's no reason not to go maximum on the last 3 moves, just to make sure we win it. And just for the fun of it, I had Pavlov attack the group behind, because I want to see if I can keep him in the GC hunt too, so we can get to level 10. Just like that, Herman Watson claims the yellow jersey, and I know Herman Weiss could still be a threat with that 7 recovery and 3 climbing, but I think by the time he starts coming into his own, we should be able to extend the gap to a couple of turns even. As you can imagine, this stage didn't have anything interesting going for it until now. They're not stopping short. They're actually going to go over this climb, try and put some pressure on the peloton and the riders behind. And I will say, with this plus 14%, I did think about putting my riders in P1, but it's only Maya and Caruso. Maya, not a threat on a tour basis. Oh, Wagner's gone up, but Wagner's also out of attack. This means it comes down purely to the sprint, but I'm actually not that interested in the stage with Watson, because I know we're going to get plenty more spoils later. If it comes down to a bunch sprint, I'll try with Rouse. We may genuinely have enough slipstream here to win the stage with Rouse, despite him not being a climber, because he's able to go over Maya. And do we need to momentum block this? I don't think we do. Shouldn't hurt too much to try it regardless. And nah, Grassi hasn't actually sprinted. Watson does have enough to make it a 1-2, because he's going to recover all of that attack anyway. Did, however, make a substantial error with Pavlov. I dropped him back into P3, expecting the peloton to still arrive at the finish at a decent enough pace, but they stopped entirely on this stage. And that means that Pavlov is now going to have to try something different. So we're going to try something weird but fun. I'm going to attack with Rouse here because we do have the opening. We're going to try and collect both minor sprints with Rouse. We've already collected this one by passing Girikanov. Or we could just get caught immediately because I felt the need to stop at a 12 instead of extending to the 8. Although I think I may have outfunked myself by not entering the relay the previous turn with Pavlov, because those that were in the relay still get the first chance to act and go back into the relay, and I think that the race is going to end on this turn. Unless they decide to do this and make a fool out of me for thinking that a race was going to end on this turn. I decided to go up with Pavlov anyway. He's going to get all of his attack points refunded from this move, so there was no reason not to go up and see what we could do. And oh, we actually wanted to be in P1, because all we did by going past the previous relay was give them a lead out, and in fact Watson is going to end up on the stage podium without even trying. We've now got a trifecta of stages coming up that will more or less decide the tour, unless Herman Weiss has a miracle rally in the second week. And I think I've decided what I'm going to do with Pavlov. He's going to be a combination mountain jersey and stage hunter. So he goes out and claims this first category climb, does not follow through with that breakaway. Oh, I thought this climb was going to be uncontested, but all of a sudden the relay decided that they don't want me to win. Well, I'm not giving them a choice. Pavlov's taking the 7 points. Deal with it. So that just leaves the final climb, and as long as I don't do something moronic, I can't envision Watson losing time here. Weiss does not have as much attack. Albrecht has the attack, but no mountain skill. And as we know, Niels Meyer is not in form because he peaked at the Giro. And Weiss didn't even make the 5-man breakaway. We've got Pavlov in it, so Watson doesn't have to do any of the pulling yet. In theory, Watson could have gone faster these last 2 turns, but I wanted to use up Pavlov first. Weiss almost chased back on, but now he's going to be out of attack, so when Watson goes next turn, we're going to put some serious time into everyone. And I suspect we're going to win the stage too, because Meyer's down to 4 attack points. He's not going to be able to follow this. He does manage to get over the line, but it's a gap of 0.17 turns, with Weiss coming in 0.37 turns behind. Pavlov is able to hold on to 4th. That will be good for any hopes of competing in the mountain jersey later. But in actuality, these summit finishes may just lead to the best placed riders in GC also winning the mountains. There are, however, enough mid-stage points like this HC category today that there's plenty of incentive for Pavlov to become a breakaway rider. Ward needs to rest today, and I don't want Rao to become a helper rider until after the rest day. Here we see that Schwartz wants the points too, despite not having any mountain points to this point in the tour. We're sprinting over him though. And we are following through with this move as best we can. Holy, that is a massive move from Schwartz. I don't know why he did that. It's not like the peloton are at any risk of catching us for a while. It would have been a lot nicer if we could have split the downhill into 2 turns. We would have still been ahead of the peloton at this point, and we wouldn't have needed as big of a move to get over this. Unfortunately, those 2 moves meant we had no attack points left and had to concede that we were only going to come second on this mountain. Turning our attention back to the main race then. Niels Meyer's attacked. I don't need to chase that. I think that's a bit of a trap because we still have 1 more mountain stage to go. I can afford to lose 1 stage to Meyer as long as we keep the jersey and most of our energy and attack intact. I am going to play it honestly and have Herman Watson become the new tip of the peloton spear. We will be giving some help to other rivals. And I didn't even notice this, but Niels Meyer didn't follow through with his attack, so it was wasted effort to get nothing. We might as well just bridge up to Schwartz now. And on these last 2 turns, I went the max move to see who could hold on. I don't mind Herman Weiss taking the stage win as long as he doesn't gain any time on us. Okay, even though this is not considered a full mountain stage, I dare say it's just as difficult as the previous 2. Of course, Watson has been bulletproof, and this sort of performance, I think even if we don't reach level 11, we're going to win the Gasmea next season. Was 1 turn early moving to the front this time with Watson. Should I just attack? I'm just attacking. Huh, Weiss isn't even here. I'm just going to solo run to the finish, ride everyone except Grassy off my wheel. Grassy, if you want the stage win, I'm okay with that. I've essentially got a green light to empty the tank here because the next stage is effectively a rest day for the GC. As it turns out, we may be about to drop Grassy too. This is a 3 attack move, and Grassy's got 1 less energy per turn as well. So yeah, he stops short. A stage win is a stage win either way, but might have been more effective for me to take a more tactical approach rather than just rely on Watson's overwhelming strength. Nonetheless, 1.47 turns and Weiss is our only real contender at this point. And now we get to the stage that I've been keeping Cedric Rouse fresh for. As one of the few pure sprinters in this field, I suspect he's going to have an easy time winning this stage. To be fair, I haven't had much of a chance to scout who these 2 sprinters are because they've all been getting shelled by the mountains. Albrecht is the main guy that we have to watch out for. But we should just about reach the finish line on this turn. If Andreev goes max, that's it. And Albrecht is too far back. Think I'll play it safe and go behind Dominguez, because I think if you're behind Weiss and Azanov, that's a little bit too far back. Really depends on... Well, Weiss can actually put in a decent sprint. He might win this. We'll see if he does. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, Weiss has managed to do it as a climber. And all up, that is Weiss's 3rd stage win. So Meadowmeister Milk quietly picking up a lot of points from this tour. They have the green jersey now as well. And 3rd in the mountains.